welcome to day 2 of Human Synergistics Asia Pacific Conference. My name is Karina Hull and I am one of the consultants with the New Zealand team. We had a fantastic day yesterday listening to Sandos, Spark and the CEO panel, and I'm sure today is going to be equally good. With us today we have Maria and Hollis from Vision Investments in Fiji. Bula, Hollis and Maria.
Kia ora, kia ora, kia ora.
Good stuff, good. I've been very fortunate over the last 10 years, but more specifically over the last 3 years, to work with Hollis and Maria, who are both part of the People and Culture team. They've taken over 300 people through the Lifestyles Inventory Program and Human Synergistics Leader as Coach program, dedicated a lot of time to building their leadership and culture capability within Vision. So today we're going to be running this as a bit of an interview format. As you're aware, if you tuned in yesterday, if you've got any questions, please add them to the Q&A section or the chat section, and we will endeavour to answer some of those questions at the end of the session. If you missed some of the sessions yesterday, please feel free to have a look at the links on Human Synergistics website next week. So let's get started. So Maria and Hollis, for those people in our audience who are unfamiliar with Vision, could you tell us a little bit about who Vision Investments are?
Thanks, Karina. Vision Group has been in existence since 2006 after acquiring Quartz Fiji. Being an established and trusted household name in Fiji, we are one of the largest retailers in the country, and we specialize in commercial and domestic electrical appliances, furniture, outdoor products, homeware, ICT, floor covering, sports apparels, and sports equipment, as well as other general merchandise. Our total workforce in Vision Investments Limited is approximately 910 employees, of which 800 employees alone work in the Quartz retail stores. Vision has diversified into other areas of business, which includes automotive, manufacturing, renewables, hotel and resorts, financing, and the laundry services. We are amongst the top 3 listed companies in Fiji under the Fiji Stock Exchange market, and with a market capitalization of approximately $220 million US. 2 years ago, we branched out into Papua New Guinea, and that hasn't stopped us from venturing out into other Pacific countries, which we are still looking at expanding our business into, Karina.
Yeah, so probably a whole lot bigger than a lot of people realise, and many of our audience might have actually stayed at the lovely Hilton Hotel Dinera, or maybe Doubletree Resort, which is great. So thank you for joining us today, which is really good. So what do you think prompted the need for change within your retail stores, do you think?
Yeah, thank you, Karina. What prompted the change is our customers. Our customers is the reason that we exist in Vision Investment. And the organization vision, the purpose, and the values is always around the customer, and that is to delight our customer. In order for us to continue to delight our customer, we have to future-proof our business and think about how we can anticipate what is going to be the next generation customer needs and how the next generation customer behavior would look like. Because in Quartz, you've seen the banner behind us. We just celebrated our 100 years anniversary, so we have a legacy. And Quartz is one of the biggest brands that is known in Fiji. And we have 3rd and 4th generation customers that are coming into Quartz to buy electrical and furniture appliances. So we had to ask ourselves, if a retail giant in New Zealand and Australia is to come to Fiji today, how would they operate? Would they operate like a traditional Quartz store, or would they operate like a traditional New Zealand or Australian retail store? So we had to quickly think and then ask ourselves, what would the store model look like? What would be the type of behavior and processes that we are going to do, how we're going to look at the processes that is currently in place, and how we can tailor make it to suit the customer need that's going to come in the future. So our customers is the key that prompted us to change.
Good stuff. Thanks, Hollis. And I believe a lot of your customers are actually going online and having a look at the products they want to buy now, aren't they? Before they actually come in store.
Yes, and COVID-19 has just basically, told us that this is what we are supposed to be doing, and it's a work in progress.
Yeah, good. But fantastic to hear you say you want to future-proof your business. That's great. So before you started on this journey, what type of behaviours were you seeing in your stores, do you think?
In Fiji, traditional stores are hierarchical. We have multiple departments, and the decisions are made by the store manager. And staff are very conservative. And how would a store look like for a customer? If a customer is coming into our store wanting to purchase a refrigerator, they will have to go to Bob, because Bob is the only person that knows about refrigerator. And then if the customer wants to also buy a television in the same purchase, Bob will have to refer the customer to Stephen, who is just a television salesperson. So this customer will be served by 4 or 5 different salespeople in order to get the purchase, and then they go back home. So the impact of this behavior is that we are not building strong relationship with the customer, and the customer is handed over to 4 or 5 different people where, to make the purchase through. And it's product driven and not customer driven. And it's a fixed mindset environment.
Okay, fantastic. I don't think that's just Fiji. Actually, I was in a retail store over the weekend and I had to talk to 3 different people within the store, and it gets quite annoying, doesn't it? So fantastic that you have such a strong focus on delighting your customers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So what do you think you did from, would you like to share with the audience what you did from a development perspective? So what did you undertake to do?
So after we saw that this is the problem from a development perspective, we reinvented our training structure, where every store employee, every frontline employee, they're going to go through a multi-skill training where they got to not just learn sales, they got to learn all throughout the frontline system. They got to learn sales, they got to learn how to take payments, they got to learn how to assess the credit, they got to learn also how to log a complaint when this one customer comes in. So we had to change the mindset of our employees, and then we had to redesign our training program from a 1-week training plan to a 5 weeks a training program, where each staff goes through the exercise of learning the different type of products, so that this person is equipped to understand the refrigerator, the television, etc. And also we had to upskill our part-time employees that comes in during the weekends or during the night shifts, so that when they are there in the store, they can handle the customer just as a permanent employee. And then the customer is having confidence. And this is because of customer experience. Going back to our values and our purpose is delighting our customer. And what we did also, we had the middle management team that went through the LSI and the Leadership Coach program. And thank you, Karina, for helping us in that, where you came over to Fiji and then you showed us and took us through the journey. So we had the top level management from the executives down to the floor supervisors that went through this 2 leadership program. And then also another program we developed was we buddy up the supervisors with the managers for about 3 months, where the supervisor learns about the in and outs of the store. So then when the manager goes on leave or during lockdowns, the supervisor is able to run the store without the manager coming in. And the thinking was we wanted the manager to start looking at strategic things in the store rather than just opening the store and then closing the store. So that was the development program that we did. And then when it's important that the employee understand what are the expectations and what are the support that they can make and what decisions they can make and can't make, and there's clarity in this program.
Yeah, fantastic. That's great. And I know we've talked in the past about the fact that when you're developing a really strong culture within your stores and people are actually enjoying what they're doing and they are enjoying working for Courts, the flow-on effect is going to be that they're going to be able to delight their customers. So, so that's fantastic. So for those people who are not familiar with the Leader as Coach program that Hollis has referenced, it's based around a very strong model that we use, that we teach people about coaching values and skills and how to apply coaching from on the floor conversations, which are very immediate, to performance adjustment conversations, to teaching about new products. So it's really helped embed a strong coaching culture within Courts, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, great stuff. So a bit of a strange question, but businesses often ask us, how do you actually operationalize a constructive culture within an environment? Because we talk about processes within environments supporting behavior and behavior supporting processes. So what did you do within Courts to actually try to operationalize this constructive approach?
Thanks, Karina. Traditionally in Fiji, our retail operations is a 6-day working week. So our staff are expected to come in and work for 6 days.
Wow.
We started to find it rather challenging to recruit the younger generation to come and work for us, because they weren't too pleased about working a 6-day working week. They wanted more time for themselves. So what we had to do was we had to relook at our structure. And we also had to, so that we could accommodate a 5-day working week to allow our staff to be able to work 5 days. Also, it gave them a lot of time for family and for their leisure. So what we did was we studied the market conditions, the buying trends, and the workforce behavior. Those were the things that we looked at. In doing so, we also visited our local universities as well as our high schools to have a talk with the students and to see what they were expecting if they had to come and join the retail industry. We also asked them that, to work around their study timetables and then to see that if a 3-day working week would suit them. And this was not to take them out of school totally, let them continue their studies, but at the same time earn some pocket money. It was also going to help us in continuing to run our stores on a 7-day period and allow our employees to work 5 days in a week. Also, they would come in and relieve as well as work the weekends, because quite often there's always a function coming up and someone wants to take the weekend off. So this, would encourage the young students to come in and learn what retail was all about. And what we also did was we encouraged a lot of interaction between the managers and the supervisors right down to our employees, so that our employees, through constructive conversations, they were able to address performance issues constructively, as well as the employees' contribution was also recognized so that they did not feel left out. This resulted in the managers creating an environment where our employees looked forward to come to work, as well as they were happy because they knew their contributions are being heard. Whilst we may not implement all, but we were considering taking all of their contributions in. And then the team leaders, we got our team leaders involved in decision makings so that it was not just like Hollis earlier said, a top-down structure. Right. And then our managers were able to interact well because they got to know our employees better and were able to identify issues that may come up during the day. Our objective was to come away really from a top-down leadership style.
Fantastic. That's great. And great that you actually went out to the market and we're trying to find out what people want. And then, I mean, we know that a big motivator for people is understanding that their effort contributes and makes a difference. So if people feel listened to and heard, that's going to make a huge difference to your culture, isn't it?
And that's innovation as well, Karina.
Yeah, definitely it is. It is a very innovative approach. And to go in Fiji from having quite a hierarchical environment to one where you're really involving the team on the floor, that's fantastic. So what type of culture were you trying to create? Like if you're sharing that with our people listening in, what did the culture you were trying to create look like?
With us in Vision, the culture that we tried to create was team vision. Instead of just having team courts or team sports hall or team vision mottos, it's about team vision. Okay, so good. That means we got to operate as a team. And, you know, our CEO is always driving this team vision across during inductions. And I thank him for always taking the time out to come and encourage the employees and then motivate us to see each other as team vision, because our goal is the customer. Competitors can copy what we do or what we sell, but they can't copy our people and our culture. And our culture approach in Team Vision was to be inclusive and to collaborate and work together as a unit. And we started that when we changed the commission incentives to a team-based commission. Before it was just individualized. And then we changed the format into a team base where everybody that's working in the store, everybody in the team, from the manager to the person that's doing the delivery, they contribute and they get rewarded and they get recognized also for the contributions that they've made. And in this process, we see that employees are motivated to be at work and to be providing a solution to a customer. And we see the capability of listening to a customer is increased. And we also see that the employee is building a customer relationship with a customer instead of just making a sale and then forget the customer. So and we looked at that change. We saw that this journey, it has to start with us in HR. In order for us to drive this journey and this change to the retail store, it has to start with us at Human Resources. So what we did was we multi-skill everybody in the department, and then everyone had to go out to the stores during the weekends or during festive seasons where we have lots of Christmas sales, and in Fiji we celebrate Diwali as well. And the team went out to go and observe, go and help the customer, go and assist in the store, because it was an opportunity for all of us to understand what is taking place on the floor. So that when, as a HR person, when you're doing your selection and your interview for a salesperson on the floor, you know very well what is expected there on the floor. You will know what type of behavior that you will need to be checking on in order to get the right person for the job. So yeah, and the journey, I'm not saying we are there yet. We are still in the journey. Yeah. All right. There's always storms. It's always about getting back on track and then focus on the goal. And you know, we thank the senior managers of the organization that's always having coaching conversations with us. Yeah, because we get demoralized and discouraged as well. But we thank our seniors for always encouraging us and having coaching conversations with us that brings us back on track, and we're still in the journey.
Yeah. Fantastic. Your senior people aren't listening in, are they there, Hollis? You're going to get a big tick for that. Only teasing, only teasing. Fantastic to hear that you're doing it from the get-go in terms of trying to bring people on board based on their behaviour, not just their skill set. So that's fantastic. Yeah, well done. And I loved your comment around competitors can copy your products, but they can't copy your culture, can they? I mean, that's unique to you, which is fantastic. Yeah. And it's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but your reduction in having to deal with disciplinary issues and stuff like that takes a whole lot of time has been reduced significantly, hasn't it?
Yeah. Before it was just all a form filling exercise. Now we're having coaching conversations. issues are sorted there and then on the floor,
Yeah,
and the
great.
employees understand what is expected.
Fantastic.
Instead of before, it's just a filling form exercise and then it's passed on to the manager to take action. Here in this culture, the supervisor has got the empowerment where they coach and discipline the employees right there and there.
Fantastic.
And then, yeah, and then just look at how we can retrain the employees again. And
Good.
yeah, we've from this culture, we've encouraged the multi-skilling also across the store, where in our store, customer experience is very important. And we having one person that can look after the customer from the start to finish. And
Fantastic.
this same person is able to follow up and then making sure that delivery that goes to this customer, because the customer just have to deal with one person in the store instead of dealing with multiple people.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. And I think one of the points that you made that I love is the fact that the people and capability team and senior leaders get out there and they sell to customers on the floor and they know what's going on. So they're not making decisions from afar. They're actually part of that team vision, which is fantastic.
Yes.
So with all this good stuff going on, I've got to ask the difficult question. What resistance did you have to trying to make these changes and develop more of a constructive culture?
Of course, Karina, resistance is going to be there. You're going to have a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
We just have to have a thick skin. Well, we got to expect resistance because our store has been a legacy store.
Yes.
And, it's been here in Fiji for 100 years. But as HR practitioners, we just got to be patient.
Okay.
Change take time. It can only be effective if we recognize the benefit to the employees first, then to the organization. We have to be brave. We have to be patient. We got to respect and acknowledge the positive attributes of every individual person in the organization. We have to understand the employee's perspective on doubts that they may have. We got to do a little more of asking and listening and less of telling.
Yeah, okay, good. And we've only got, I'm really sorry to interrupt you, Hollis, we've only literally got 2 minutes left. So we've been having a good chat here, but one really important question that I'm sure the audience would like to hear is, all this good stuff around culture, what impact has it actually had on your bottom line results? So has it actually impacted your bottom line results?
Oh yes, Karina, it has. The constructive impact on the store performance and the employee performance, it's given us a sales growth of demonstrating a 20% increase.
Wow, okay, that's great.
And revenue, as well as from we were able to save on employee recruitment, whereby I'll just explain the Nakasi concept quickly.
Really quickly, Maria, because we've got about 1 minute left, I think. Yeah.
Nakasi is one of our tier 1 stores, and wherein we had in other tier 1 stores we would recruit 50 employees. In this instance, we've recruited 25 employees only, and because of the multi-skilling and all the constructive culture and behaviors coming into play, we've been able to manage to run the store just as well as our other locations.
Fantastic.
We've also introduced, like Hollis had mentioned earlier, a team-based commission. Rather than previously, we used to have the individual commission. We've improved on our customer relations, and there's been a lesser reduction in turnover. And what we've done now, we've expanded the same concept to our other stores throughout the country. And that is through multi-skilling.